Okay, we're live.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm here with a nice, interesting little view today. We are at the Garden Mound here at the Sky Museum and Gardens, but unlike normal, we're here on top of the Casino Mound. We got a pretty interesting view today, and I got some information for you all here about the casino structure. This is here at the end of the garden. The casino was created as a nice little resting spot. Now, the name casino might invoke some pretty familiar themes here in Miami. Here, it is a spot to rest and relax, get away from the hot sun. You could play card games and have some tea here 100 years ago if you were visiting Mr. James Deering, but it definitely showcases some of the design elements found throughout the rest of the house and the gardens, with these Venetian statues here being showcased all throughout the border here at the casino. Now, we actually have a picture from our archives that shows off how it used to be 100 years ago. Check that out. That material looks like some limestone, but it's all making the shape of the standard Italian casino. Now, casinos are pretty prevalent in Italy. You can find them alongside several other villas, and so they're right here at home at the Villa Vizcaya. Now, from the casino, we also have a lovely view right across from here. We get a shot of the mangroves. This jungle here has overtaken this curb. Now, down here, you can see there are those poles. Those are like gondola poles. You can get yourself a nice little gondola here 100 years ago. The Deering gondolas were actually motorized. So you can just take one of those and just roam your way through what used to be the massive lagoon gardens that would just take all of this out. We actually have another shot here of the mangrove jungle 100 years ago. And so straight ahead from where I am, there would have been bridges. There was a causeway that divided the lagoons up in half. You can see right there. And it was just this nice open expanse where you can pretty much have your own little adventure. Yeah, that circle right there denotes where I am right now. So you can really see the just incredible size of the lagoon gardens. And they're quite different than the rest of the gardens. Generally, at the Skya, when you've come to visit, you will see that our gardens are quite orderly, very well maintained. Everything is basically cut and it's set about these shapes. But the idea was that with the lagoon gardens, you really want to have this sort of wild nature take over the gardens, have the shapes become much more natural. As basically as you leave the main house, order sorts, it kind of like breaks down the further and further you get away. Now, another reason why we have the casino up here, you can just see how large the lagoons are. Well, say you wanted to go and take a break. It's quite a bit of a trek back to the main house. You can see right back here where I am. From the casino, you'd have to then make your way down those steps through the main gardens, and you'll be quite a ways away. And so if you want to catch a break, the casino is perfect for you because right below us, the casino is actually basically a full-on house. It had its own kitchen, it had bathrooms, it had rooms for just lounging about. It had everything that you need to have a nice quick break. Now, if you also want to come and entertain guests, sure, some card games are nice and all, but you know how it is here in Miami. We all like to have a nice little drink to take the edge off sometimes, and Deering was certainly no different. But this is interesting. If you're familiar with your Miami history, the late 1910s, early 1920s, when Deering was around here at Vizcaya, it was actually legal to drink at Miami. Miami was dry, actually, even before Prohibition began. Miami became dry in 1913, actually. The county voted for it to pass through. And so when Deering came to live at Vizcaya, he had to find some interesting ways to get his alcohol supplied. And so he would bring it down in various ways, maybe from New York, sometimes also from the Caribbean in later years. You can imagine just the famed rum runners making their way through. And he would store that alcohol down in these secret compartment areas right under the casino. So right by the kitchen and bathroom downstairs, it's a hidden area. Unfortunately, we don't have it available for visitors to come, so it's still hidden to this day from eyes. So kind of like this rooftop up here, but it's just one of the secret entrances and exits that we have throughout Biscaya. And many of Deering's visitors were quite happy that Deering was able to supply this service. You can say we actually have another letter from our archive that shows a visitor who came in, and he's sending this letter to a Mr. Louis Kuhn. Mr. Coons was one of the assistants for the head designer of Biscaya. And here he reads, "Many thanks for the unexpected salvation. There never was any comforter so comforting. Fred has already attended to the shipment of quilts. My whole slender being awaits with a trembling trepidation them bed covers. Best regard to the boys. Very sincerely." So here we have, at first glance, a very mundane letter speaking about comforters, quilts, blankets, and such. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't exactly get so riled up by blankets. This is actually code that they use to talk about liquor as they were smuggling it around back and forth. And so no one was none the wiser. Deering, you can imagine, was very well known, well, not well known at all, in fact, but you can just imagine how much money he spent on blankets. It was quite an insurmountable sum of blankets he purchased and had shipped and stored down here at the bottom of the casino within the hollow rooms of the Garden Mound. And so with that, if anyone is still, I guess, if there's anyone here, I'm open to answer any questions about the casino. But I guess other interesting facts. Well, actually, we have Alex Cerna here managing the video from the back end, and she's taking any questions as they arrive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have any?
Yeah, we have some. So we are broadcasting simultaneously on YouTube and Facebook. And we had also asked for some questions earlier in Instagram and Twitter. So one of the questions is, what is the casino mound made out of, the actual mound itself?
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of materials that are in standard construction, so concrete,
real
rubble,
quick,
and all such.
Alex,
yes.
Can you hear me?
Hi.
If you can flip the camera back to you so people can see your face.
Oh, yes. Good idea.
There we go.
So, so like, standard construction materials go, there's going to be a lot of concrete, there's reinforcement, there's going to be steel and such. But interesting materials are going to include this limestone. You can see right here. This material, this rock here, this is local oolitic limestone quarried right here from the local Miami area and some quarries just in the Miami area. And this constitutes a lot of the sort of like outer work for the casino. And there's going to be some interesting design elements in how it's used. But what's really cool about this is that they kind of use it to blend together with this material. This is the Venetian marble. So these are imported from Venice. And so we are here in an Italian structure, technically, and it has Venetian statues, but it is made out of local Miami material. And that's very much like in the story of just how Biscaya works in general, where you're blending together the Italian with the Miami.
Okay, very nice. So this is a very timely question, given that we have a hurricane coming to us tomorrow, potentially. Somebody asked, what are those poles behind the statues?
Right. So we are right next to the ocean. The ocean's literally right behind those trees off over there. And so we have these poles that are here, and they're just there to support the statues in case something goes terribly wrong. There's a very strong hurricane wind that comes through. We don't lose any of these statues because if they make their way off the casino, they can be a catastrophic break. And it's something that happens a lot throughout our gardens. Hurricane Irma a few years back destroyed some of our statues. Hurricane Andrew way back destroyed some other statues. It's something that it's a constant vigilant fight against the forces of nature to make sure that Vizcaya stays up and running and going in whichever shape it can survive in. And so these beams are here to help keep that going.
Perfect. Gotta love Miami. So in
I love
Facebook, from
Miami.
Facebook, yeah, Charlotte Dunn asked about the kitchen. Do we know where the kitchen is located in the casino?
Oh, yes. So the kitchen is downstairs, basically inside of the mound. So if you've ever been to Vizcaya and if you've ever been to the Garden Mound, the casino, as far as the public experience goes, is this sort of sheltered space just at the top of the Garden Mound. But if you could go down the stairs along the side of the Garden Mound, or maybe into one of the side rooms and then down the spiral staircase there, that would take you inside of the Garden Mound into the kitchen rooms.
Very cool. So we kind of consider that a little bit of a hidden area. So speaking of hidden areas, we have a Secret Doors video tour that you can take if you are interested in these hidden doors and secret passages at Vizcaya. And the tour is actually closing to the public tonight at midnight. It used to be a members, yeah, it used to be a members only exclusive experience, and is going to go back to being members only tonight. So if you're interested in checking that out, go to vizcaya.org/secrets, and you can experience that basically through tonight. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll see you on the next live.
Come visit.
Thank you. Bye.